One man, one cross. 1,000 years of history redefined. The legend like you have never seen it before. The special, coming to you in full.
Happy St. George's Day. Today we're peeling back the legend of England's patron saint to find the man beneath the armour.
He never actually visited our shores, yet he defines the British spirit. Let's head into the archives for the full story.
Before the legend, there was the man. George was born in Cappadocia to a noble family, eventually rising to become a high-ranking officer in the Roman Guard.
Then things got messy. The emperor made a move. Quit your faith or else. But George, he didn't budge. He stayed loyal, solid, every single time.
That defiance had a price. High. He faced the Roman courts and lost his life in Lydda. But he became a legend. George was a decorated hero. He had everything to lose: fame, wealth, and massive power.
But his faith was the one thing he wouldn't trade, not for any price. George didn't hide. He walked straight into the emperor's court. He called out the cruelty. He spoke his truth. A brave move. He chose his conscience over his career. A soldier standing against an empire.
George died a martyr, but his story lived on. Over centuries, the history transformed into a grand legend.
The soldier became a symbol, a hero who could conquer any beast.
And that's how the dragon was born.
Now for the myth, the dragon.
The story shifts to Cyllene, a city gripped by fear, a dragon demanding a sacrifice. Then, he didn't hesitate. He rode toward the danger. This is where the soldier became the slayer. Dragon wasn't just a monster, it was a metaphor. It represented the darkness and fear of a lawless world. George was the light, the warrior who brought order to the chaos, a legend forged in fire. The city had lost hope. The king's daughter was next. She stood alone until George arrived to change her fate.
It's a story of rescue, a soldier protecting the helpless.
Fast forward 800 years to the Crusades. English knights, like Richard the Lionheart, adopted George as their guardian.
They saw a warrior saint, a soldier who stood his ground. That's how his red cross became the flag of England.
In the 1200s, English knights adopted George as their protector.
They saw him as the ultimate soldier.
He became their battle cry, a saint who understood the cost of duty and the weight of a sword. King Richard the Lionheart placed his army under George's protection. He made the Red Cross the official uniform of his troops.
A bold statement. It wasn't just a flag anymore, it was a brand. The brand of England.
In 1348, King Edward III made it official. He founded the Order of the Garter, with George as its heart. He chose a warrior to lead a new age of chivalry. George was now the undisputed patron of the English crown.
The Garter became a mark of the highest honor. It tied the elite of the nation to the virtues of the saint.
Continues today, keeping the spirit of George alive in the modern world.
Quite. He chose a warrior over the local saints. George stood for chivalry, bravery, and the absolute power of the British crown. In 1606, the Red Cross merged with the Scottish saltire. This created the first version of the Union Jack.
It's the
Backbone of the flag.
A symbol of unity that would soon travel across the entire globe.
In 1940, King George VI created the George Cross. It honors the highest acts of civilian and military bravery.
It proves that the spirit of the saints still defines our greatest heroes. George belongs to the world. He is the patron saint of Georgia, Ethiopia, and Portugal. A truly global icon. He bridges cultures and continents. A symbol of courage that knows no borders. He is everywhere. In Catalonia, he is San Jordi. Here, the dragon's blood turned into roses. A day of romance and literature. It's a different vibe. Books and flowers instead of shields. A celebration of beauty over the beast.
In Ethiopia, he is Kedus Georgis.
His image is everywhere. From ancient stone churches to modern streets, a timeless symbol of African strength. Baden-Powell chose George as the patron of the Scouts. He wanted a model of resilience for the next generation.
Be prepared, a simple motto rooted in an ancient bravery, shaping young lives for over a century. St. George's Chapel, a masterpiece of Gothic stone. It serves as the spiritual heart of the order and a royal sanctuary.
History is carved into these walls, a sacred space where the knight's code meets the weight of the crown. Across the country, the bells of St. George ring out, a traditional call to celebrate our heritage and our community. From village greens to city centres, the parades bring the story to life, a day for everyone to stand together. Shakespeare gave the legend its voice. His immortal words turned the saint into the ultimate rally for the English soul. God for Harry, England, and St. George, a line that still echoes through our history and our theatres. From Raphael to Donatello, the world's greatest artists have captured this struggle. Each brushstroke immortalizes the triumph of good over evil, a visual legacy that kept the story alive for centuries in every gallery.
In 2026, the challenge is clear. We must protect our spirit and the values that made this nation great.
It's about standing firm, ensuring our heritage isn't just a memory, but a standard that defines who we are today. The code of the knight is our best defense. Honor, courage, and a fierce loyalty to the land we call home.
Some things are non-negotiable. Our values are the wall that protects our way of life. We do not yield.
The dragon hasn't vanished. It just changed shape. Today, the fight is for our truth.
We face a new struggle to stay sovereign, but like George, we stand our ground. The light will always prevail. The Red Cross is our anchor. It binds 4 nations under one unbreakable banner of heritage.
One flag, one shared history, our foundation against a world in flux.
The spear strikes true. Chaos is defeated. This is the moment where fear ends and the legend begins.
Victory for the soul, the dragon falls, but the spirit rises.
So, we celebrate the man, the myth, and the mission. A reminder to stand tall when things get tough.
The spirit of St. George lives on, brave, resilient, and forever a part of who we are. The legend of George isn't just history. It's a challenge to every one of us to live with honor and integrity.
Carry the torch, protect the values. Today, we don't just remember a saint, we become the shield of our nation.
Stay sharp, stay informed, stay with Amelia News.
God bless. We'll see you again soon for another show. Good night, England. Right then, let's go see what those little hooligans have been up to.
Chico and Lily? Probably chaos. Let's go.
Before I lose the signal in the hills, remember to subscribe, comment, like, and share this broadcast. Help us grow the movement. Stay sharp. I'll see you in the morning.